Good evening. It's Norma Cowie. It's 7 o'clock. And and it's Monday. And I'm here with Mental Mind Treatments. Thank you for watching and good evening, Marianne. For those that are going to be new or listening to this new, Marianne works a Tibetan bowl while I do the work. I do. And it helps me greatly. Even she's not here, but she's in her space, and but it does help. So my first one tonight is with I got an email to take, so I got this, is for Helene. She has a major headache and neck ache on the right side. The numbers I picked, I don't know that she wrote them, but I think I picked them, was 2, 5, and 15. In fact, I've got 2 ones down here with 15. 15 doesn't show up that often. Okay, the numbers, for those that are new watching this, are based on the higher arcana of the tarot. And they tell me things. So what I see here, Helene, is number 2 is always about choice. And when our emotions get pulled into things, very often it will come into the body. And the 5 says just to be a bit more aware, like how much are you taking on from what people said or what people think or what people are wanting, because the 15 is the emotions. So you've got 2 emotional symbols, 2 and 15 here, with 5 saying some more knowledge is needed about this. But primarily what I've sensed is that you're stressed and upset by something you can't control. And you don't figure out all the feelings that are around it. It's kind of more mental than feelings, but it's actually based on feelings. It's based on how you feel about what's going on. And what it always talks about, especially in number 15, is unhooking yourself from the situation, from the feeling and the responding and the reacting to it, is letting that go. And I think that will have that. So let's do the treatment and see what happens there. I know there is one power and one essence, and I know that Helene knows how this works. Therefore, I just want to relax and allow the spirit of love, universal love, I should say, universal love comes in to be able to relax the muscles, the tension. Sometimes when we have decisions to make, it's as though we don't have to make them right then. We just have to be aware of conflict, tension, and awareness. So the neck in particular, because the old saying, getting a stiff neck, you're being stiff-necked, it's like you're wanting one response or one awareness, and basically it's saying, no, you've got other choices. You've got other choices of what and how to deal with this. And as mostly as what I feel is a sense of peace, of knowing that no matter what, everything always works out in the end. And that's the thing what a lot of people don't really discover or come to understand or to be, is that everything works out. When we get all uptight about something, doesn't always work out exactly how we want it. Now, I know in the spirit of light and love, is to allow that into not only the heart, but the mind. It's like allowing the heart-mind connection to relax in trust that no matter what, everything is in its right place. Often when things happen and you don't particularly like it, we forget that there's a reason why. There's something in here. And so we can breathe and flow, trusting that all is in its right place. And I am happy to be able to say, relax, don't get uptight, but know that everything is in its right place. Everything works out in the long term. But I give thanks for the knowing of this as I release this by saying, and so it is. I also am going to do one for Marion, who's doing the bowl for me. And then I've got another one, and then I'll come to the side by. We have been treating, except Marion informed me that I forgot the treatment last week, and so I must make sure I do that today. But the numbers, I think I picked them. So we want a new home, and I added as soon as possible. 22, 3, and 10. Now that tells me faith. We need faith in this because it doesn't make sense here. How do I get a new home? Who knows? There's no visible knowingness. But the 3 says, trust the love energy, or trust however you perceive it. Trust God, trust the divine power, whatever you want to call it. I always call it the love energy because that's how it always appears to me. To love and know so that you can be like the hub of number 10 is the wheel of fortune. And it's like you can become like the hub of the wheel, confident, aware, because when you have a rational mind that likes to be aware of everything, that's not how the divine works. Often the impossible occurs by letting go and trusting. And that's that 22, having absolute faith and knowing you don't know how it's going to show up. But when you've got a rational mind, you want to know how it's going to show up. And that actually blocks everything. So the key is to say, okay, show me, bring it to me. Let me experience this. Give me my new home where I am happy and everything is workable as soon as possible. I give thanks in the knowing, but this time I'm going into treatment for you. I give thanks in knowing there is one power, one essence, and that lovingness is there for anybody that wants, desires, plans, whatever, for change and growth within their lives. As I speak my word for Marianne, I know the desire and the need and the want of a new home as soon as possible is there. And so it's a matter of letting go and not recognizing or wanting to plan it all, saying, oh, this or that or the other, but just saying, okay, I'm going to use the word God. Okay, God, surprise me. Bring to me a new home that I can have in my possession with ease and with grace. And in knowing that, I release this, knowing that it is true. A new home can appear with ease and grace. And as I release this, I say, and so it is. Amen. Now, I see Kayla has actually came on. And we have to say this, Kayla has just gone through knee surgery. I talked to her today. And anyway, she said, just will listen tonight. Much love to all. Thanks for the prayers, guess, because we certainly did that. But we want ongoing healing for this. And I also wrote down here, rest. I got numbers 12, 3, and 15, which I picked. So here's this 15 appearing again, emotionality. Okay, so let's look at the numbers first. 12 is acceptance of what is. This can't change this. She's had the surgery. She's got the knee. She's having to go through all the things that she has to go through with that. But the number 3 says, do it lovingly. Love that knee. Love that new thing that's in there, that steel. As you said, it's very heavy. And you're just a little lightweight. So it's like, love it. Make it a part of you. It's not foreign. It has it has steel in it or whatever they made it of, aluminum or something. But it's like, make it part of you. It's becoming part of your body. It's your knee. And it says there's a little bit of fear, a little bit of concern, a little bit of anxiety through that 15. It's like, it says, relax. Yes, we know it's going to take a little bit of time, but just invite it, love it, and be happy with the results you're going to get from it, because it's going to want that. All those little cells in there are going to want to help you. They want to be there for you. So it's like embracing it and saying, thank you, new knee. Thank you. And so I'm going to release that to the powers that be by saying, and so it is. Okay, Karen M. What do we got here? Greetings. She got 9, 17, and 2. Okay. Okay. Number 9, the hermit, looking inside oneself. 17, again, it's a part of acceptance. And 2 is making a decision. It's a challenge here because there's no sense of where we're going with this. 9 really is about listening to the inner part of you, understanding where you are and where you want to go. 17 says this is all about balancing as you put energy out. In other words, you can't go anywhere and this energy is being dispelled. And how much energy are you putting out? Are you putting out a lot, which weakens you? Or are you putting out exactly what you need to create? Because of the 2, it says this is your decision. It's not about what anybody says or anybody does or what you think or what it's about what you do. I just really feel it's about what you do. Now, you know tarot. Go look at 17. Star. On these has 1 foot on the water, 1 foot on the ground, 2 cups that are pouring water into the bowl. Energy has to go out in order to come back. It's like the ocean. If you've ever stood at the side of an ocean, and I grew up by the water, watching the waves. Waves come in different sizes, even though you don't think it does. Even when it's a ripple, there'll be one ripple that'll be a little bit bigger. How does that energy dispel? How does that energy work with you? And because of that too, it's like you have to decide where you want to put the energy. How much are you putting out? How much are you holding back? Because the answer lies within you in that 9. You're the answer. How much do you put out? How much do you side? Sometimes we have situations happen where we give a lot out, but we need to decide we're going to do that. So it's about, I'm just writing a word down here called balance. This is all about balance when I think about it. Do we listen to ourselves? How much energy do we put out? And then what do we decide? Do we put the energy out? Do we not? Do we withhold it? Do we give it? So let's take a look at the treatment. I know there is one power in one essence that is lovable, loving, and aware. I also know that Karen M understands this. And I know at this point, when we change in energy, when new circumstances come up, is that sometimes we're a bit wobbly as to how, what, when, and where. And yet innately, you know what you need to do, what can be done, how it works, where you're heading, what you're wanting to achieve, and all of those different things. I give thanks in the knowingness that your awareness of where your energy is going and what you're desiring as an end result is going to be the key, because that's the choice. Know that whatever you choose, do it in a balanced way where you reap the reward. This is not just about giving out. This is about reaping a reward as well, whether it's knowledge, understanding, or what exactly it is that you're wanting to go for. I give thanks in the knowing that Karen M is succeeding, or has the ability to. The awareness she has, the knowledge she has, it's like time. It's like a time of like going up a step. It's like going from A to C. And in that step, it's like, yes, you've lurked for it, you know it, and now you can go for it. And so go ahead with blessings. And I look forward to hearing how that works out for you. That sounds great. So thank you very, very much. I give thanks as I release this thought, knowing that it's true and it is done. And so it is. Karen Lee. Okay. We're starting on the Karens. Oh, I love it. Karen Lee of treatment for a terrible pain. Okay, hang on a minute. I got to write this. Terrible, because I'll forget otherwise. Terrible pain in right hip and lower back. Yuck. Done too much of that myself in my life. 17, 12, and 1. Isn't that funny? We got 17 again. It's about balancing energies. Number 1. Number 12, we've had already 2, I think, because it's similar. Number 12 is acceptance. Just accepting, basically accepting what is it? It's the hanged man in the tarot, which is accepting. You got to accept it to get off the rail. And then 1 says everything is possible. The key here, I think, is 17, because obviously somewhere along the line you've done too much, put out too much energy, too much thought, too much conjunction within yourself. And some of that you have to accept responsibility of what you've created here. But all is not lost. Because the magician says everything is possible. You have all the keys that you know. From my perspective, looking at this, look at what you're really, I'm going to use the word because I don't know if you're allowed to do that. So let me rephrase that. Look at what you're really upset, maybe mad at, that you maybe don't want to acknowledge. A lot of maybes in there. But it's like being truthful to yourself. Because it's like the right hip is the right side tends to be the doing side, not the receiver side, the doing. It's funny you talk about that because my right knee has been playing up for a while. It's that doing. What are you doing? What are you going? And then it's coming into your lower back. So it's coming back at you because you're carrying a burden. So 17, remember we talked about 17, if you remember. It's like how much you're giving out. How much are you putting too much out? Are you putting too much? You're not looking after you. You're looking after whatever. You know, you have a family, so you know that, you know, all the energy is going out. And what are you? So there's an acceptance here of how much you put out. Sometimes for people, you've got to do that. Other times you don't. And I just feel you're carrying the emotional burden of it. You know, sometimes when something happens, you have to lay it down, put it in a little container and just lay it down somewhere, whatever's bothering, what's going on inside, because everything is possible here through acceptance, so that you're not giving all your energy away. And I hope you get this, because this is like you can't carry it all and you can't do it all. Other people, I just want to feel I need to say this. Other people are responsible for what they do. It is not your job to carry their stuff. You can listen, you let it go by. Be like me, sitting here sometimes listening, doing readings and things for people. But it's like, I don't carry it. Very, very, very seldom do I carry it. Or I did a clearing for someone today, and it was just, she was so thankful and so helpful with it. It was great. But there again, it's not always what you're looking at, joy and light and love, you know. But I just feel here is that this is an acceptance of yourself and knowing that everything is possible, but the individuals that you're taking on need to know. Okay, treatment time. Knowing there is one power in one essence, I speak my word for Karen Lee. As I speak my word for Karen Lee, I know that her power, her energy, the love she has in her heart, all of that element it's like everything is stuck in that right hip and that lower back. It's like it's grabbed. But I really feel and know that most of that is not hers. It's like taking on other people's issues. And in that is the sense of accepting and realizing that energy can stick and create pain, or it can move through the body and out to wherever. I know that as everything is possible, that there is an alignment that can come into play, and that pain can be given over to whatever you want to call that great power, and say, thank you, just take this. I don't need to carry this anymore. I feel very teary about this, actually. And it's like the emotionality is that you do not have to carry this. It's like, bye-bye, go away, because it's not yours. If it was yours, I probably would look at it differently. It doesn't feel like yours. It feels like somebody else's. I just want to say, breathe and know the divine is at one with you. I give thanks by releasing this and saying, and so it is. Amen. Okay. Okay, where are we going? Hang on, they're going down faster than me. It's Chatterbox today. Kayla, okay. Maggie G, hello, my dear. I hear the passes are getting a little bit of snow, so there's no way I'll be going down that way until maybe the spring. I'll be able to be strong enough to drive that far. Okay, Maggie G, good evening, Norma. I have yay! Could I have a treatment for grounding, please? I have to talk to everybody in a minute too, because something just happened, that something I had forgotten that I did years ago. 6/8/20. I'm just going to take a minute out for a second before I come back. I had someone come to my house visiting, and they carried a message from someone else thanking me for a candle exercise I gave them for selling their house. Now, I have a friend that's really trying to sell her house. I had forgotten I knew this. Age, sorry, it just does that sometimes. I'm going to tell you how it works. You go and you get a tall one, not a stubby one, a tall one, white and a black, and 2 oranges. In the main part of your house, you put the black and the white one, and when you light them, you ask for all the energies to be released. Then, when they're done, you put the 2 oranges in, you light them, and you ask for everything to be balanced. In other words, you've released all the other stuff, and now you want everything balanced. I had a candle book I used to follow, and like a long, long time ago, and I just forgot. And I have 2 friends that maybe want to sell houses, so I am getting in touch with them. But anyway, Maggie G, blessings to you. And anyone else that wants to sell anything, I know it works, and anyway, they just came back and told me, thank you, thank you, thank you. But somebody else remembered it. So you want grounding. Sorry for taking that little bit of time out. 6/8/20. 6 is the Lovers, right? See, it's funny. I know these cards inside out, and then I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is the Lovers, which is confusion. So you're not quite sure what to do now in some respects. 8 is strength, and 20 is the acceptance. You've been working to sell this apartment for a long time. And so what happens when we let that go, it's like a piece of your life has got a hole in it, in a sense. And so it becomes in a way confusing. And it's like, what do I do now? Where do I go? And all it is refocusing on your next step. Because you put a lot of time and a lot of energy to get that place sold. And I appreciate that. But 8 is the main key here. It's about balancing your philosophy, your belief into your regular world. It is about bringing that all into playing, working, and doing. and accepting the power that loves you, that cares for you, and bringing that power into your life in a different way. It's kind of like sitting back and like in the summer when you sit back outside and you let the sun kind of, there sound warm, and you just let that beautiful feeling of life come into you. That's what I sense here. It needs to come into you so that you become grounded in the next step. Because this step is taking a long time. So now you've got to know and let all the confusion go that went on. Balance your world. What's your next step? What are you wanting to do? What are you wanting to create now? Maybe nothing. Or maybe just enjoying. So that's the grounding that comes in there. So let's do the treatment on it. Knowing there is one power and one essence, as I speak my word from Maggie G, I know, I feel, I can always smell this perfume, like plants, beautiful flowers. I wonder if you're planning a trip, but it's into the tropics or something. I can smell it. I just feel like not only the relief, but it's like filling in the space that it took up, because it took a lot in your life. And I know that with the smell, that the divine power is saying, set your next goal, set your next awareness of direction of what you want to do for you. This is your time. This is your time to recognize and become at one with all there is. Well, notice I drew a little heart with my fingers there. Sometimes when you've been having something that doesn't quite work the way you want, and then it does, we forget that we're really loved and that all things come at their right timing. I was working with somebody about right timing. There is right timing. And sometimes we forget that because we want it now. But the reality, I was thinking about this the other day, actually, that right timing, it gives, and it just feels like now when I'm in that treatment space, relax, allow, and think, what do I want to do now? There's an opening of space here. So don't get confused about it. Don't try and figure it all out. Give yourself some time. You're recuperating from all that tension. Do the things that make you feel good so that you can be at one with all there is. I give thanks in the knowing of this. I give in the thanks knowing that Maggie G is just going to be great. And I give thanks as I release this thought, knowing that it is true and it is done. And so it is. Karen B. Good evening, Norma. Love and blessings to everybody and to you. Karen M says, thanks again. Yeah, it's always nice to see you. And oh, I love Meso 7. Oh no, I nearly forgot about this. I'm glad I logged on. So am I. Good to hear. Hello, Norma. Treatment to end procrastination. Okay, hang on a sec. I've got to catch up with myself here. I'm just going to put 07 as a and procrastination. That comes from fear. You know that, right? Okay, let's see where we are. And you got me 3 numbers, 5, need a little bit more knowledge, 12, accepting, and 1, everything is possible. Okay, let's talk about procrastination. I'm sure we've done this before, but I'm going to do it again. I guess I feel a little bit lectury tonight because I seem to be doing that. Why we stop doing things or we procrastinate because deep down we're frightened we're going to do the wrong thing. When you begin to believe no matter what is an appropriate thing, even if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter because then you know it doesn't work, but you've done something. In doing something, let's see, what have I got around? I'm surrounded by all sorts of things. But if you're doing something, it's doing something. It's telling you very fast whether, yes, this is the thing and the way to go, or no, it is not the way to go. So when we look at your numbers, number 5, 12 is acceptance, 8 is strength, inner strength. I'm just putting 5 into place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the Hierophant, I think. I think it's not so much more knowledge or more awareness. I think you just need to recognize that everything that you choose to do is you choose to do it, and be more secure by accepting your own power. This is a power issue. And to know that you have the strength and the ability to do and achieve whatever you want. And just an example here. When, I've written all these little booklets over the years. And what do I know about writing? I just would sit down and put my ideas into these booklets. Some of them have sold very well, especially my tarot ones. But I've got other ones. And it's like you can't run the critic, because in your brain, when you get critical, that means it stops you from doing what you want to do or creating what you want to do. That's what creates procrastination, because you're scared you're going to make a mistake. You're scared you're going to take the wrong idea. You're scared you're going to do something it's not going to work the way you want it to. That means you're living your life based on fear, not knowing all the strength you actually have to handle things. Life is full of adjustments and changes and awareness and growth and coming to understand. By 7, you want to really end the procrastination, let your fear go. Put it in a barrel, send it off somewhere. Energy release time. I used to teach that lots. Take what you're fearful of, put it in a container and fire it off to the sun with asking for it to be transformed into light, or you don't need all that stuff around you. Yeah, sometimes we succeed and sometimes we don't, and that's okay. It's just learning. But for you, let's see what we get in treatment. I know. Actually, I should start a little different. Sorry. No, it's good. I know there is one power in one essence, and I speak my word for Maths 07. I also know he's powerful, understanding, wants to know. He has an inquiring mind on one side. And I also know that on the other side, there's a great fear of making a mistake. And very often that comes from early childhood. I used to get my ear clipped all the time when I was young, and it took me a long time to learn to stand up for myself in life and say, oh, well, what if it doesn't work? It doesn't work, and be very almost easy around it. So when we've had any kind of restriction, like it's not good enough or it should be better or whatever criticism comes our way, we take it on, and then we forget to believe. We forget to believe in who we are. We forget to believe. And I know the power that you have if you just breathe out that non-belief, that criticalness, that judgment of yourself, that all things will flow to you with so much ease. There will be no procrastination. There will be growth and progress. Oh, yeah, there'll be times when you screw up. Well, next time I'll get it right. Gets much easier, gets much more aware, and much more. I give thanks in knowing that I Love Maths 07 is ready to let go the fear of being wrong and embracing the joy of attempting. I give thanks as I release this by saying, and so it is. Amen. Okay. Karen Lee says, thank you. I think we're in the right place. Oh, you've got another one. You've got another one. Hang on. I'm jumping on you because you got two in a row here. You got three in a row. Okay. Hello. What's this one? Treatment for your eyes, of course. Okay. We're getting the full enchilada tonight. Okay, for your eyes, which is 6, 8, and 11. And then for money, right? The money comes when you let go your fear and procrastination, for sure, because you'll be directed as to where you want to go. Anyway, eyes. 6, confusion, because you're look. What are you looking for? Like the idea is your eyes just demonstrate back into your brain what it sees. It's when we try to put things on that we get a problems. We've talked about this at different times. 8 shows the balancing, and 11 is a lot about balancing too. It's got a lot of judgment in it as well. So it's like changing your perception, changing what you're wanting to see. Not always looking for what others are saying or doing, but looking for what it means for you on the inside so that you can balance that and you can decide, do I want that or do I not? It's very simple. It's a very simple thing. But when you have judgment, with what you already talked about, when you have judgment, you don't give that equality of ease with the eyes because it's always looking for something that maybe isn't there. And you're wondering where it is. Doesn't need to be. What is it? It's something. I'm looking at it. My glasses case is just black, and when you open it up, it's got a color cloth inside of it. That's all there is. I don't have to make anything more of it than what I see. Anything I make of it is because I have put something there together. So it's your choice how you want to deal with that. It's your choice how you want to see it. Do you want to see it as it is, or do you want to see it enhanced as you think it is? Big, interesting point. Just a minute. Treatment on that. Knowing there is one power in one essence, and I speak my word for Math 07, knowing that how we see the world reflects our person beliefs. How we see the world is what we're looking for. Are we looking for light and love and instruction? Or are we looking for what could be wrong, what isn't working right, or whatever, or it doesn't fit some criteria that you think it should be? I know in the divineness that when we take those shades away and just begin to see life as it is. So if you see a blue flower, you see a blue flower. They're very rare. If you see irises are blue. If you see a pink flower, you see a pink flower. If you see the water in the sea, when it's green, it's green. When it's blue, it's blue. And when it's muddy, it's muddy. What's reality? Not what you're concerned about. I don't like that reality. Well, it's just an acceptance of that, and then you choose what you want to do with that. I give thanks in knowing that as you expand and become more connected to your heart and to the oneness that is there, the belief that everything just is, nothing one needs to do but be what they want to do, there will be light and love around the eyes. I release this thought knowing that is true, and it is. Now, money. Sometimes with all this, I'm feeling usually a person has one thing, you've got 3. So you're very, spoiled. But what I want to say is piggyback. If there's any relativity to yourself, piggyback on it, because we're all one. When one person has an issue here, it can be interpreted for you. Now, 15, this is a person who knows tarot. 15, 18, and 21. 15, the devil, emotion. 8, moon, emotion, hidden emotion, but driven by emotion. 21, need to balance it all. So what does that really say? Get your emotions out of how you see, how you want, what you treat, because your money will come from your eyes, how you see the world. Funny, I was talking to somebody earlier about how I wrote a book about money somewhere. I wrote lots of little books. One of them is about money. And so it's like, how do you perceive of money? Like, what is that? I just see all this emotion here. Money, instead of money, yes. Begin to love money. It's just a vehicle of exchange. When I want to drink water, I bring the glass over, I drink from it, put it back. That's all it is. I want something, I give you money, you give me goods. That's all. It's a means of exchange. They used to have other things they exchanged one with many centuries ago. They moved it into monies because it made it easier. That's all it is. It's a means of exchange. Nothing more, nothing less. Just get that. Okay, treatment time. I know there is one power in one essence. I also know that when we are not embracing the wonder of the world, the joy of the world, all the possibility of the world of things, that we don't always attract what we really are needing and wanting in the immediate, which in this case is money. Money is just a vehicle of going from A to B. I want some money, you've got to find the money to pay. If you want the money, it's like putting love. It's all love. And when you're putting value on about, oh, I only have this much, I only have this much, you restrict. The divine is infinite. The divine is, it's the most amazing thing. And miracle things can happen. And I'm proof of that over and over. Oh, yeah, sometimes other things don't work quite as well as I want, but that's part of life too. It's learning how to balance. That's all I talk about, balance today. A lot of balance and awareness, but mostly here is embracing how money is just an offshoot of the divineness of, because that's what we use as an exchange. So we need some of it in order to create what we want. We can't go shop if we don't have any money. We got to create money. So some way there is. So it's like being open to how that can happen that works for you without all this emotionality about it. So again, take a look in your past. See where you got emotionality, because in the divine essence, as I see here, as I'm connecting all sorts of things together in this treatment, you just need to open and allow it to come. And it will. It'll show you ways in which you can create it easily. But you have to ask. Everybody thinks God just knows what you want and plunks it down in front of you. But if you don't ask, how does that energy know? And sometimes you have to ask for a while, because you've got to be sincere about it and not put up mental blocks. This goes for anybody else who's listening, and when they want to create something or anything, it's there if you chose one. Here, there is definitely got to get the emotionality out of the way around money. There is one power, and it's lovingness, or otherwise you're choosing the other side, and that cripples you. I give thanks in the knowingness that money will be forthcoming as eyes, and what was the third one? And the procrastination will leave, because you see clearly that God is love, and you just have to let it into your heart and be everywhere with us. And that goes for each one of us. We have to remember that no matter what. I give thanks as I release this thought, knowing it is true for all of us. God is love. And if we don't let love into our heart and the possibilities of miracles, then we don't see them or have them. Okay, the preacher tonight. Karen Lee, thank you. Bless your heart. John Haltram. Hi, John. Thank you, Norma. Blessings, love, and healing to all here. You too. And your numbers are 3, 6, and 9. So those are often what they are. Okay, 3 is a love essence, and I know you know a lot about that. 6 is confusion, and this is sort of roughly. And 9 says the answer lies within you. I'm going to make a stab here. It feels like there's something you want to do, or create or be. And it's like you want it, it looks good, but do you really trust you about it? Are you worthy? Is it good? Am I good enough? Can I do this? Will it be there? Yes, it will be there, but you will know if there's anything about that, because it's that confusion in there. Everything else says, yeah, go for it. It looks good. It's like you're ready. You're ready. But that inner confusion, if we don't trust ourselves and create, if we don't trust ourselves and trust in the higher power, whatever you want to call it, I don't mind what name you call it, just knowing there's a power out there that loves you 100%, but it's behind you 100%. And even though when we know that, sometimes our logical mind says, yeah, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know what I want to do this, but I don't know how to do it. Your creativity, your kindness, your character says, just be open, get clear in your mind, and it'll all be. So let's go into the treatment. Knowing there is one power and one essence, I speak my word for John. And as I speak my word for John, I know that he is ready and open through the generosity of his heart and soul to embrace the life that he chooses, as he wants, as he moves forward. There is only one love and one power and one aspect that he has to create a beingness, which is with him always. And allowing that to come no matter what is happening in the material, the essence of him knows his truth and his awareness. I give thanks to the knowing of this, and I give thanks to the knowingness of the direction that he can move in. And I release this with love and light and laughter too, by saying, and so it is. And let me see where I am here. I think I'm doing okay. Me, John. Okay, Maggie G says, blessings to you. John says, money is an abstract representation of actual wealth that makes commerce easier, but is not wealth itself. We don't eat money, but money buys what we want to eat. And that's where people don't. It's just a means of exchange, for goodness sake. I can give you a hug. And remember, John will remember the years where that's where I used to do. Is I used to hug everybody, workshop or regular that was given. My life's very different now. And yeah, I miss the hug part, but that's something that I freely gave. But when I want to buy some food, I need money because that's the means of exchange. It's all it is. But what happens in life, we put a lot of input on having it or not having it. I don't like it when I don't have it, to be honest. It's always, what's going on? How come I don't have any money? That's not what I like. We got time. Tell you a funny little story. Some of you know and Matt Johnson, he says thanks, and thanks to John. Some of you know I had this computer stuff go on, and now I forgot what story I was going to say. It was really quite funny, actually. So we won't unless it comes back into my brain. That's what happens sometimes. Is that it's to do with money, I thought, but I don't have a story, but I do have another story. It was a good story. And that, have you ever done that? It's got it right there. And then you go off to talk about something and then you don't know where you were. And if you're still young, you don't do that. Just enjoy, because as you get a little older, that's what begins to happen. At least it's not only happens to me, it's happened to others as well. But it was something that I did, and I can't remember what it was. But I want to thank you for all coming tonight. I feel I had a nap, so I'm quite revived and not dragging or anything else. Good stuff tonight. I feel that there's been an underlying thing here about knowing the difference between the mental, and this is something I've been working on with people, the difference between the mental and the emotional self that need to be balanced. Because when we give to the intellect, and I find that a lot, we get it, people who are really live in their heads and their intellect, they make problems for themselves. And then then they don't come into an alignment with their emotional self. And that's a very big thing, is that key of of connection and beingness. So I want to thank you all. And John, it was good to see you here tonight. I know you come very occasionally, but it's always good to see you. And yeah, so what's up? What's coming up? I guess Wednesday morning, I have some topic I will be talking on. Sunday, I'll have a thought. And hopefully, I'll have a little bit of time or energy. It's more energy, actually, to do another Are You Aware? I know Maths 07 loves those. And so we'll leave tonight really well. Blessings up. And then I'll remember what I was going to say, a story I was going to tell you. So I don't have it now. Blessings. See you next week for mental mind treatments, 7 o'clock, British Columbia time. Bye now.